Hey!
Hey!
Hi, girls!
Hey,
Great.
girls!
And
Now
you?
we're complete. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining live, everybody. We hope you found it okay. We are As Any Podcast. We are back from winter break. So usually we stream kind of every other week. We did a bit of a winter break to recharge. And now we are back and with the three of us. It's so exciting.
Finally!
Yes.
Yes!
So welcome everybody. This week is just going to be a really casual chat. It's just the three of us talking about 2025, what's in store, what are maybe trends that we're looking out to, also what you as the audience are maybe interested in. So we have some topics to cover. We're really, really excited to have you. And then next round will be again an interview podcast. So this time's just us.
Indeed.
Welcome.
Yeah.
So excited.
Yeah, indeed.
Like the
I
first
miss
time
you,
we're
girls.
doing it. Yeah, me too. No, me
I'm so
too.
happy to be back.
Yes, and it's in my head, 2025 still sounds like the future, even though that probably makes me sound like a grandma. But
No, I get
So
it.
true.
I'm not still used to say 2025. I need to control myself to prevent saying 2024. So.
probably until like March, and then like we catch up.
For
on
sure.
Indeed.
For sure.
No, that's amazing. But we made it to the other side. We're all still in one piece. We're all still together. So that's really, really
Indeed.
cool. Yes.
Mm.
So 2025, new year. Lots of people use this for New Year's resolutions or to like reinvent themselves. So maybe we can first talk a little bit about like we've been running this podcast in one version or another for some time, right? But maybe we can
Indeed.
talk a little bit about like what are our goals with the podcast. And while we do, if you're watching live, maybe do you have any goals for 2025? Like, let us know anything that you're really interested in, your personal goals.
Indeed, please, so we can also copy if we will like it. No.
Very
But
effective.
actually, when we finished the year, we were speaking about our website that we had like a landing page right now, but in the future we wanted to invest some time in developing a new one together, so we can also learn to work together in some new tool or new technology. And I think for this year will be a nice goal, isn't it, to have for the podcast to create finally our own website, showcasing the 8 episodes that we will have and probably I don't know, maybe making a page so we can get feedback from the audience, like a form or something like that. We can create something cool together. That would be amazing. And maybe live, who knows?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's the only way to get us to commit to it, like
Indeed.
pressure of building in public on it so that we actually do it.
Yeah, indeed.
and tell that in public. So
Yeah, exactly. So now we have committed. If we don't catch up with it, then we have to let know. But of course, we also want to spread the word about the podcast and see if there are any other people that we can invite to our community. Or I feel like I always think it sounds so like capitalistic in air quotes and like a evil, like conquer the world kind of way. Like, oh, we need to grow our community. No, but more like spread the awareness. And then if people think it's for them, they can join, right? So that would be also one goal, I guess.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, we like to keep our podcast community driven. So yeah, never sounds like, let's say, like let's conquer the world way.
No.
But
yeah, but indeed, it would be nice to connect more with the community in order to, really know who is watching us and who is talking with us. That would be cool. Like at some point to get to know them also.
Yeah. Also giving the spotlight to some amazing, like folks that we want our community or people to know about it. So yeah.
Sure,
Yeah.
I like that. We didn't put that as a goal, isn't it? Like to have really cool people in the show. Why? That should be the main one, I think.
I mean, there are already cool people in the show right now. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but that's true. That would be really cool. And maybe that could be connected to the website, because we were also discussing would be cool if we could have a form where folks can either suggest people to join or to like apply themselves if they have a topic that they want to talk about, right? And that would kind of like link really nicely with the website, and also with having more cool people on the show, for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Affirm.
Yeah. And last year we actually met in person, so that would also be amazing if we could arrange something in 2025, right?
Yeah, please.
Yeah,
With the three of us.
I would need it, definitely.
No, that was so nice. Yeah, I mean, Arisa and I were meeting for a little adventure
Indeed.
already.
Yeah.
But we need something with actually the three of us. Also, an event where I'm not scared of my life. So
Exactly. If you can keep yourself together for that meeting.
Exactly. Yeah, really exciting.
Yeah, so lots of exciting, let's say, goals and things we want to do are ahead in this year. So
Yes. And one thing that we haven't mentioned is that we're hoping to get a sponsor in 2025, right? Like, I'm just going to put it out there in the world to manifest, maybe. Because it would be really cool. I mean, of course, we're doing this for fun. We're not planning to make money with it, but it would be nice if it wasn't costing us money. Full disclosure. I mean, right now we're kind of paying for this, so yeah, that would be really nice, and that's definitely one goal. That would be really cool.
Indeed.
Yeah. And I would say, like, for now, if whoever is watching this show live or recording, if you're interested in sponsoring us or would like to know about it just casually, you can definitely, like, contact one of us on the social media. We all are on the X, also LinkedIn. Some of us are in Blue Sky. So yeah, you can, like, send us the DM or, like, mention us on the tweet, or is it even called tweet nowadays? I don't know, but just like
we are
reach out to
boomers
us.
from the real social media world.
Yeah, it's gonna be like chaotic, but where to reach us out. So we are happy. We're gonna be happy to discuss. Yeah.
Yeah,
Indeed.
for sure. And also sometimes it doesn't have to be like an individual, right? Sometimes companies want to sponsor something for women in tech, and that would be the name. That would be the time to drop our name, basically. Somebody wants to greenwash themselves. We're happy to be on the receiving end of that. No, I'm joking. Moving on.
Evil Josie, yeah.
I really miss this atmosphere.
Yeah, I feel like over the break we have forgotten what it is like to go on a live stream, and just all facade has gone.
Exactly. Yeah. We are not ready anymore. Yeah.
No, not ready.
That's why it's perfect to casually start and casually talk about what we want to do this year. So, yeah.
And if you have any, the people watching the show, if you have any goals for this year you want to share, just because you are so proud of them or because you think you are gonna make it, because of course we can have these goals but maybe never do them. It's just what we want, but let's see how it goes in the year. But still, we wanted to bring you something else so you can learn with us on what is a topic we need to know in this 2025, or we need to learn about, or what is trending nowadays. And yeah, Arisa, Josie, and I has created a curated list of things that probably will be trendy, probably will go out of trend when it happens to be the first quarter, and then they go forgotten. But let's see what is coming. So yeah, of course, the first one shouldn't be other than AI powered things, but in this case, AI powered development, because probably you already saw that we have a trend of using GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code, or ChatGPT for queries related to code, or even DevTools now have a way of asking about a bug, and the AI can generate an answer for that, like maybe check in this file or whatever, and help you debug. That's crazy. So before we were fully into AI, but now it's like everyone is using it. Everyone, even the people that are a little bit against it or doesn't like to work with them, we are still doing it because at work we are being promoted, isn't it? If you use it more, you are more productive. So it goes better for you at your work. So yeah. What do you
No,
think about this?
it's a big one. I feel like some people, if you talk to people, a lot of people are like, oh, I really don't want to, kind of, like, but we all a little bit have to. And especially if you look at, I mean, the job market is an entire different conversation, but if you look for just in general job openings, they're like very centered around AI. There's a lot, from my gut feeling, a lot less jobs, just like normal jobs, and then a lot of like, okay, you have to train this AI and you have to do this and that. And you're like, oh no, I wish I could like never deal with this, but indeed it's making us faster. And I love the debugging tool in Chrome. That is so helpful. Like, even just to point you something you overlooked to the right file, or to like tell you where to check. I love it. And it's teaching you as well to be a better developer, right? So I really love that one.
Yeah, it's not like I'm completely against with the AI. Actually, I'm more for like pro, just for people to know. I mean, like not completely, but I'm more for like the go for AI side, because I mean, if people can perform better with the help of the AI, why not? And it's not like you're just copying everything and pasting everything and submitting your essay in a school. That's completely different.
Yeah.
So we are doing in a way to make our job better. So that's how I see the AI's possibilities. And honestly, without it, I would struggle, because every time, I'm not perfect, I'm human. So every time, like when I write TypeScript, then definitely I'm going to make some few minor mistakes. And sometimes to realize about it, depending on like how long I was working in this day, maybe like if it's close to the evening, my focus is like out of somewhere. So it's much more productive to have the help from the AI to notice that, oh, I forgot the type definition here, or oh, here is defined as any. That's why things are falling. So it actually really helps. And I would say like, yeah, probably like using the GitHub Copilot is like something that I always like, pretty much like every day, like getting the benefits of it. Like this example from the TypeScript, I feel like I'm doing a rubber duck debugging, like with more conversational way, even though the person who I'm talking to is an AI.
It's not a person.
But still I feel like, okay, then now I understood. Thanks for explaining, and I have a better understanding and even learning something new. So yeah, I wouldn't say AI is like completely like bad things that people should be afraid of. Maybe it's because like some people are like concerned about like that the AIs might take over their jobs, but yeah, I don't think this will happen that immediately, something like that. So maybe something in the future, but yeah.
I mean, I feel like AI is a whole different conversation to have, and the benefits of it, and there are for sure risks that should not be overlooked. But as a trend in tech, it's really interesting, and it seems there is like a lot of momentum, right? And so that's like it's really like everything is happening so fast, and it's just really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Alba, how do you feel?
Well, I feel that for me, it become better after some time. Like in the beginning, I was really afraid of losing my skills in order to search things or learn things because of abuse of this kind of tools. But since I started integrating in the parts that maybe I was rusty at, or I need to automate things, then it become better, my relationship with it, because I wasn't afraid of losing my skill because of using another tool that will substitute my thinking. But introducing it in things that I'm still learning at, or wanted to grow even more. So I start learning from it instead of the opposite. So I think you need to have your balance in your setup. It's the same as automating things. Some people say, well, you are doing that. You can have this file automating this. But this is my task, to get rid of the mental day, and get rid of the stress when I'm doing this manual thing. It's like some people use a lot of command shortcuts. I really like to know where they are in the menu, like physically, the thing I want to click. I want to know exactly the position. It's just how my mind works. So that's what I felt, that I learned how to interact with AI without being overwhelmed by it. So right now I'm happier, with these trends.
Well, that's a really good development then.
It's like psychology with the AI tools.
Yeah. No, that's true. But like, speaking of that, I think sometimes it really helps just to describe your problem. And even though you put in like really messy human thoughts, like I really talk to it, and sometimes I say like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed, I have to do this and that. And then I describe the problem, and then they're like very kind, and that's really helpful.
Yeah, they're all very polite.
Yeah.
And sometimes they even seek further feedback, right?
Yeah.
In the end.
Like, yeah, indeed.
Right? Yeah. That's quite nice. They want to improve, so.
No, that's,
love it.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like responding to the comment in the chat, and yeah, I see like Daniel is frightened by the dentist appointment he's gonna have.
Oh boy, yeah, that is something to survive for sure.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for you.
Yeah.
Oh man. The next thing, well, actually, funnily enough, now that we're speaking about AI, we were, of course, asking in preparation for this episode. We were also researching trends and tech developments to look out for, and of course, some of us, like me, look to AI to provide like an overview of like buzzwordy topics. And we were just joking before going live that my AI already knows me, so it suggested that sustainability will be a big topic in the tech development and also accessibility. And while I think that's very nice that it knows me so well and tells me what I want to know, I have a feeling, of course, with the upcoming legislations in the EU, accessibility, of course, will be a little bit more important. I'm not sure it's like in the same list as AI, if you know what I mean. Like it's not quite there in terms of the popularity. But I thought it was really funny that it's personalized.
But actually, think about it. Imagine that instead of being personalized because you are interested in AI, in accessibility, is because the AI learned from you all the accessibility issues that are happening and all the accessibility acts and Europe law that is changing. So maybe he knows more, or she knows more about it than mine,
I mean, that's a very nice thought. Yeah, but maybe.
I love to think that way. Like you teach ChatGPT the best use of accessibility, and now he knows which ones are the trend or not. I love it.
Yeah. No, but I thought it was really funny. I feel like it's also telling me what I want to hear.
Love it. Yeah. No, but still, there's some things that are not related to accessibility in the trends that it generated, and also I had it in common when I generated mine. and we can see Web3 was a big topic because it seems something has changed in the ecosystem, even if I don't exactly know what. We can see that it shared with us that there's already some tools that are decentralized, literally, like it's not just a theoretical mindset. Now they have proof of how it can work for identity systems and probably things that we are not customers of or users of. Probably there's more government things or security companies behind it, and that's why probably we don't actually get the benefit yet, but probably banks and other systems, financial systems, will have these benefits from Web3 being more stable and being more, I think, with a proof and not just buzzwords. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's really, really cool to see that happening and that we have finally found something useful and not just cool for the kids like with other tools. You know, when people create social media or something thinking on the best of it and then it become the worst for
Yeah.
the people, you know, at least in Web3 it seems that now there's something useful, isn't it? And not just NFTs removing money from your bank account. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. No,
Yeah,
but
but it's yeah.
I'm
Oh, sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Arisa.
Oh, I was just gonna give my comments about Web3 is still like a bit scarier than AI for me, at least a bit, because yeah, it touches around like a little bit more personal, like ID or like privacy area. So I'm a bit concerned about it, and I honestly want to have Jessie back in our live streaming. Because when she joined us, I learned so much, but I still feel too newbie around that area. So yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. It's really like, for me, it's an intimidating topic, and so I felt like Jessie provided a really cool overview, and we
Yeah.
probably have to revisit or come back
Yeah, indeed.
to that. If it's a trending topic, we should probably, go back, learn more, and then be less scared.
Yeah. So future episode topic on the to-do list or in the
Indeed.
backlog.
I'm already making a note.
Probably this time we can focus on the stream instead of the theory behind it, because we had already that conversation. Maybe the tools or the companies using it and the use case that they are having. That would be amazing. So we can understand at least the use case for this.
Yeah.
And I think with that, it would be better for us. Yeah.
A little bit less abstract, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Practical
More
example.
practical. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And the last thing on the first list, we have many lists, is edge computing.
Nice.
Like Internet of Things, real life applications for gaming, VR, virtual reality, or like, what does AR stand for?
Augmented reality.
Augmented.
Like the games that
yes.
you scan something and it becomes 3D or something. It's so weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm missing an English word here. No, but that's that's also really, really interesting in terms of what ChatGPT suggested was in terms of performance, right? Because these things are really like data intense and really consuming a lot of performance. And that would be really interesting to see how that gets streamlined and be more incorporated in our day-to-day, right? As we already see with augmented reality, but still, that's going to be a really interesting one for sure.
Yeah, indeed. It's really cool that we are evolving in terms of how cloud is done, because every year you face that every website you visit is faster than before. It's like, I don't imagine a more fast website than what we have right now. It's crazy. With edge computing, everything is immediate, isn't it? I mean, of course, if you have 3G, probably you don't see it that way, but with our internet and the stable connection I have, is crazy fast. And of course, if we start improving also in these kind of situations where your network is crap, that would be even better. But still, a really step forward for everything we are doing. And I hope edge computing also makes smaller the application, not just fast, so we can have less data, and of course it will be less pollution to the world. So that would be amazing. And actually sustainability was one of the trends, isn't it? Maybe edge computer is kind of helping with that as in some way.
That's interesting how the sustainability aspect kind of goes into all the different themes, right? Because if something performs well, it will also be more sustainable. And AI is a massive topic when it comes to sustainability, because it's not sustainable at all, which is something that most of us kind of ignore in our day-to-day, myself included, right? I love when it writes me a packing list, but I don't think of the amount of data that it's consuming and how bad it is for the environment. So it's definitely... Yeah, especially in combination, the trends are kind of interesting, aren't they?
Yeah, And I think Daniel is kind of mentioning about like briefly about that. Yeah, I see that if you're gonna, let's say, like host the own, large language model, then it's very expensive, and that's true. And this also like relates with the sustainability and all the, let's say, like the buzzed, hyped, like new technologies that are in the trends are expensive and something that probably, not so much considering about the sustainability yet. So that's something we also need to, probably consider. Like, wow, we are also gonna dream of something, like getting into, like the new world with the new, like cool technologies. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm, yeah. Performance hungry. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
something, yeah.
that's the word.
Explains things, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's really interesting. And we also looked a little bit into more framework specific trends as well. I don't know if any of you had thoughts about the things that we found there.
Well, actually, when I saw that they were saying Vue 3 composition API was getting traction, it become the norm basically in the Vue ecosystem. So now using Options API is really, you have a product that is built in the legacy of Vue 2 and you want to migrate to Vue 3. It seems too scary to migrate the entire project from scratch.
Mm,
So you just migrate with Options API in Vue 3 activated basically. But at some point, if you get rid of that, you have composition API is easier to use, or at least mentally is easier to understand than it was before. But of course, when you are so used to Options API and what to migrate to Composition API at the beginning, it's like, ugh, what is this? But then after sometimes you can go back. It's crazy. You can go back because the
Mm-hmm.
flexibility it gives you and how you can structure your content to be in another file so it doesn't get too loaded of business logic is really
mm,
amazing. So yeah, now the AI is just confirming that now everyone is going that way when using Vue and ignoring the Options API finally. So at some point, maybe in Vue 4, they can deprecate it. I don't know. Because of course legacy things and enterprise is difficult. but
oh yeah.
of course they can try at least to have an option without.
Mm. Yeah, I'm guessing like migration like process is always painful. It's almost like, yeah, same feeling, like when you're not stretching your body, then it's stretching, like since for like who knows long for months, weeks, then it's gonna hurt, right? But then like when you start keep doing it, flexing your body, then it feels like more flexible and less painful. That's how I feel, like the migration
I
process.
love that analogy. Eh? I will use it. It's like I just go into the View gym because I need to
Yeah.
start understanding a new feature.
I love it.
That's how I always felt. It's painful just the beginning, and later you're gonna get used to. So
True. Yeah, that applies to
yeah.
many things in life.
Indeed.
Yeah. And I would say like for the React is always, I would say like, yeah, try to invent like cool new features, but always creates the huge discussions, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, from what I see. I don't know how the other React developers are seeing things, but that's how I see it. But I like it. I mean, like, that's how it should be, isn't it? It shouldn't be that the frameworks and libraries are like, here, that's what we, like already implemented. You must use it. That's the only way. But rather than that, people are gathering and then exchanging the ideas, feedback, or some different perspectives. And then, in my opinion, React is always, taking into considerations, and also, like try to, like get the constant feedback, and then try to, like come up with, let's say, like stable versions of it, or with more, I would say, like hands-on, like the use cases. So yeah, I mean, like we've already seen, streaming functionality, like things like that. But yeah, I think it's not too fast. That's also what I like it, because if they, like implement new features like too fast, too often, then I would lose the hook, because product developments or something in the products do not have much, let's say, like lots of cost that they can, migrate, like those features like all the time. So yeah, that's what I also felt like when I saw, like our list and what our great AI friend suggested us. Yeah. But I saw the Svelte kit. It's gonna read. I'm no Svelte kit person, so correct me if someone watching this and an expert about the Svelte. But they're gonna release the new version of it, right? Or am I
Aren't
wrong?
they always? No,
Yeah, they're always.
So what Daniel's also referring to in the comments is well 5 runes, and
Yeah.
that is already out. So I'm not sure what the upcoming, like the next release then would be, or if it's already planned or in beta. I honestly don't know at this point anymore. I kind of left the Svelte universe just because there was too many other demands. But yeah, so I also don't have a fully formed opinion on the runes that I would like to talk about. But I'm really happy that Svelte is gaining so much traction and that it's coming up and that it's becoming a little bit more kind of the choice, a little bit also like what happened to Vue, right? That becomes a more logical choice for companies that are growing and that get to choose a new framework. And I think that's amazing for the community. Because folks enjoy working with it, and that's really positive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like healthy community and also growing community along with the libraries and the frameworks are something that I would also like, be happy about to stay in the loop, and also the users are, right? So
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. And I would be curious to see if there's already like a new JavaScript framework on the horizon or a new front-end framework that we should look out for. I haven't heard anything. I haven't really kept my finger on the pulse that much. Oh, is there something coming, Alba? You look excited.
No, for sure there have been coming every month, like always.
Yeah.
but I mean that successfully make it
Yeah,
to
that's what I
something
meant.
that
Yeah.
is useful and people are using it in enterprise, then that's another topic. I don't think we
Yeah.
are there yet. But still, every day someone has an idea.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair
And
enough.
no one is stopping them. No. But still for the Svelte 5 runes, I was just checking right now what they are because I don't
Yeah.
use Svelte. That's the reality. I use Vue, Next, and sometimes I touch Nest, but I mean just touch it. And I was checking, and it seems that it's the same as symbols. So basically, like the reference reactivity system, whatever they are building there, they call it that way. So they introduce a new way of doing it. So it's funny because Svelte, I imagine a Svelte, I don't know why, like a diamond. It has some kind of logo that looks like a diamond, or I just invented in my head. Because rune is like also like something like mythologic, no? Or something like a rune. And I was thinking, oh, what they are always with rocks. What is happening?
No, I don't.
I was more catched by the name than the actual thing, It's like runes. Why?
Yeah, but it's funny because isn't the founder originally from Sweden? Am I making this up now? And that's what that was my first analogy, was like, oh, so they're like going with the Viking analogy, and
I love it. Maybe it's why, yeah.
I
we need
no
to
idea.
ask. We need to ask. Probably there's a discussion about that already. We need to check later.
To-do list for the future episode. Invite Svelte expert.
Indeed. Let's talk about runes. And probably invite that one and a shaman. So we can talk about the real runes, and that will be boom.
That's the intersection the tech podcasting world has been missing. Period. Like, I'm going to make a note of that.
Oh my God.
Love it.
Sorry, Daniel, for going out of the topic. Yeah. He was saying something about you. Let's see what he was saying. Oh, you remind me about something when you, the creator of Vue, once held a talk where he explained when Vue really took off. It was when Taylor Oakwell, the creator of Laravel, sent a tweet about Vue. That's true. The same as Tailwind. I mean, Laravel guys needs to use as well. If they didn't use it yet, probably they do and didn't create the post yet. Let's wait for it. No, it's crazy. That's true, isn't it? I think the PHP community is welcoming every framework out there.
That's
Like,
amazing.
please come.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We need to be in the PHP community. I think we need to, yeah.
Yeah,
The
it was in the
Laravel. Yeah.
backlog for long.
Another
Yeah.
note.
Indeed,
Yeah.
we need the Laravels with us, and us being in the Laravels, like
Yeah.
inception, you know,
Both
like in the
ways.
other podcast.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what the podcast has needed, right? Like for our growth goal. So
Oh, yeah.
circling back to that. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And are there other trends that you want to highlight that you noticed when like browsing a little bit? Anything else came across?
I don't know if I can call it trends because I've already known that, but from what I searched, because I didn't want to go overrun the info, so I did my own little research as well quickly, and I would say like the style around, you know, like in the front end world with the components would be something I would say like more accelerate. What I mean by that to say is like we used to, I mean, front end developers, we used to sometimes like 100% like doing like our jobs for styling, or sometimes like majority of it, and it took some great amount of the time, I would say. But nowadays, like we have a lot of like nice UI libraries, or even you can use the power of the AI. Like I was quite, I mean, we were talking, you know, outside of, you know, the live streaming, that we kind of got amazed and interested in by the ShadCN. And also now the Vercel hired the creator of the ShadCN, right?
Really?
Yeah, I think I saw the
Yeah, probably.
tweet
I mean,
in
I
the,
don't know.
yeah, I saw that, and also Fireship, they also talked about it, so I think that's correct.
Then for sure,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Fireship
and
is a good source, we
yeah,
can say.
always take a look at it. Yeah, and then like since then, even, you know, like in the Vercel, they have the V0. I think it's called V0, right? This AI, you know, I would call it like tool where you know, can prompt like what kind of components you wanna, let's say like have a POC of it, and then they would actually like generate it for you, like pretty much like quick. And in there, you will have like the already built-in feature that you can, I think you can generate, you know, the chassis and CLI command that you can just like copy and paste and already use it into your existing project. So you don't need to do much of the hard work that to come up with like, okay, so to, you know, like create this button component with the gradient, you know, like the background and also like the hover animations. What I need to do. You don't need to do that. You just need to, you know, like throw like what you want to do in the V0 in Vercel, and then they will create the component that's pretty much like most of the time using the ShadCN. And then you can just like copy and paste into your existing project. And you also can create the your own like component library, because this you know, like copy and paste, you know, URL. The command you can, you know, generate from the V0 can be public. So you can create your own component library that people can use it too. So I would say like the styling, you know, like, and creating, you know, like the component libraries, that's something that we need to shift our mind into it. That's something you need to save your time, not spending tons of time. That's what I saw the trend, I would say. I mean, it was already there, but probably it's going to be even more common thing to do in the production. Yeah.
No, that's
What do you
really
think?
cool. Yeah. It looks also so clean and fancy. I already just enjoy looking at the website. But sorry, that's obviously not the point of it. But I was just like, oh, this looks really nice. Actually, I didn't know it before, and so I'm happy you mentioned it. Whether it's a new trend or not, so it's really cool too.
Yeah. I mean, like it's always that in the nature of the developers, like try to save their time and then be more efficient. So I see this kind of movement like around, the people who I know are talking, and also the sources where I take a look at always is also talking about. So I took it as a trend. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed, I saw it as a trend too, because of course I didn't get to use it as much as I want because there's token limitations. So you run it for 5 times and you get out of tokens and you need to wait. So it's not like something you can use right now without paying freely. But I had a lot of colleagues that have shared with me all the time. See the project I created with V0. See what you can do with V0. It's like I'm getting a spam because of it. So I think the trend is there, even if we didn't know exactly why people are using it. Of course, they are promoting it properly. That's why. But still, one thing that Arisa mentioned about this DCN, I mean, it's so confusing, the name. I need to contact the guy because it's DCN is so close to CDN. If you are so used to say CDN, like in the web ecosystem, DCN is just breaking my mind. But still, everyone I know has created a template or has created a theme from the DCN for the framework that didn't have. So it's kind of being used by everyone. People are getting crazy with it. I guess because they have the kind of similarities with headless UI from Tailwind ecosystem. But since headless has become more private and paid over time, maybe they want to have something for everyone, and that's why the SAT DCN is taking off, because there's other tools that are getting paid, and before it wasn't a paid service. A lot of them are doing that, like they start freely and then they start incorporating things paid, and at some points you just can use it because everything is paid again. So yeah, it's crazy. Like, I don't like that trend. If you make it free since the beginning, try to have a plan, a mental model or something for when you will get paid, but not for your users, but for companies or something like that, isn't it? Like someone that can really pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's kind of like sometimes also with the scaling, costs arise, right? And then maybe folks who wanted to keep it free. I mean, not everybody has good intentions, but maybe folks who want to keep it free, but they just can't because they need to cover the costs of like all the things that come up. Sorry, I think he's really hungry. My cat turned really up and it's just
enjoy the live show
in front of the keyboard. Sorry about that.
Love it.
I like that. And I also had the not my package, not pizza. But my neighbor's package. They always order. And
same for
don't
me.
know if it's
I
mine
never
or
receive
theirs.
one. It's always from someone else. It's like it's so disappointing. It's like going, it's for me. No, it's like, why you ring my bell?
Aww. Mental note to send Arisa an Alba package. No, but actually, Daniel was asking if there's any websites or anything we use to like keep up with tech news. Do you have any recommendations for folks?
I don't stick around with one for like checking the daily, like news. But speaking of daily.dev, I guess that's what it's called. The browser extension. That's something useful, I would say. I don't always check like every day, but yeah, that's something I would quickly like have a look when I have time. And I mean for casually, because when I sit in front of the laptop, then I usually like have things that I need to do. So probably like I would avoid like checking the news like for my first thing to do, because I would be easily distracted and probably would be lacking out of the time to do things what I need to do. So I would probably like often check on my phone, and for an easy one, like not using so much brains and energy, I would go for like Fireship because they update. That's update. Like, I mean, they're really good, by the way, and also entertaining. So I like their memes. It's like really good. So yeah, and they upload like quite often, in my opinion. So to get the summary of it, I would probably like go for that. But I would also like check Dev2, and then I would say like, yeah, when I Google it quickly, then when I see the blog post in the Medium, then that's what I also like still like check. I mean, I'm not sure like which sources like you would prefer, but I would like go like in a very various range of it, or see what my friends are, like talking about on social media. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. I was gonna say, like, definitely these days LinkedIn more than Twitter, but I think it's really like I try to follow folks where I know they will share interesting things, also folks from Google, for example, or things like that. And then I just shared it in our own chat because I can't share to YouTube. Ages ago, I started a discussion on DevTO about like newsletters that folks sign up for, and some people in the comments recommended also some really good newsletters. It's a bit older, the article, but still, like, the newsletters are still around. And for me personally, newsletters are a really good way to keep up because they come once a week and not like I have to check every day, but it's just like once a week, or I don't know, every month or something, so that you can kind of like have it condensed in one place and not go all over.
Yeah, and also I would say like some of like influential like developers, they also have their own newsletters. So
Indeed.
sign up for it and they will share with you, like useful tips, not just about the trends, but like something like, yeah, upcoming new features, like let's say like gonna be built in on the browser, or like in the libraries framework. So yeah, that's where you also could check it too. So newsletter, I completely forgot about. So thanks for bringing up, Josephine.
Right.
What about you, Alba? Where do
Well,
you always
in
check?
my case, it's just for example, I have newsletters because I subscribe to everything I log in, and I know that's not a good practice for myself because I have 20 emails a day, but still I read them. So it's
Wow.
crazy because no, sometimes they are not, they are buzzwords and then the feature, and I just read the title and I get with it. But for example, when you join education platform for your framework, for example, Vue School or Vue Mastery, they usually send once a month a recap of all the things that are trendy in your language. So I think that's the ones I keep reading because at the end it's the ecosystem I'm in and the framework I touch every day. So I want to be up to date in that. But in general, for general trends, I really like Smasi Magazine. And also the newsletters are combined between workshops and things that are not just knowing but also practical way of learning. And thanks to that newsletter, I subscribe to workshops that they are having in February to learn about design systems architecture and how to set up yours basically in the company, not just personally. So it was like a really cool thing, isn't it? A newsletter can bring you also the opportunity to jump into a conference or in a setup that you will learn practically how to use something, not just reading about it. So yes, in general, everything that you see that you like in a website, if they have newsletters, subscribe because usually it's aligned with what you see in the website. And for people, I have a Spanish influencers in tech, let's say, that I follow. So they send me every 2 months or so a newsletter with the things that are trendy in our area, like in Spain or in Latin America. But that's really specific. I don't think everyone will notice.
But that's interesting. I was about to say for like the library specific newsletter, then I checked this week in React because they have really nice sources, that you can, read it like while you're on the way to go somewhere or just chilling at home. So that's where I would also take a look at it. But something regional specific, I didn't have an idea. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Nice. So I think we cover like the trends that are
Covered
Yeah,
gonna
most of
indeed.
it, yeah.
come up like in 2025. And we still have a few more minutes if I'm right. Or it's almost about to wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we wrap it up really perfectly with where we do get our information. Also,
True.
for sure, people sharing it with you. Just make a community of nerdy people that tells to you in WhatsApp or Telegram. Alba, did you check this? Because actually, I have friends that every time it's like, "Did you see the news performance, whatever?" And it's like, "Oh, this is cool." And otherwise, I will not know it. So it's really nice to have people from other ecosystems in your community that can tell you what is new in their own section of the development. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and just to finish and really wrap up this episode, thank you so much for joining. And of course, Daniel, for being always there for us. And as always, we will have every 2 weeks one episode now that we are started the year. So expect one in the next 2 weeks with a guest this time, not only us, but someone else. And if, of course, if you have any topics or suggestions for what we want to talk about in the podcast, please let us know. We will be happy to start talking about that. And of course, expect things from this trendy list because at the end, give us ideas on where to look at, isn't it? And of course, Larables, you are invited. We will send you a clip from this moment, okay? Thank you so much. And as always, remember, we all belong in tech. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, girls.
Bye.